Well, gonna take a little walk today with Jack the Mini and Rebel here that needs a little groundwork. We're fixing to get a whole bunch of rain, so trying to beat the rain. Some of you guys have asked about training, and I keep saying training is every day. And sometimes a little walk crossing a spot of the creek that they aren't used to crossing is training. So with donkeys, sometimes you just gotta let them think about it for a minute. He's looking. This is not where they normally cross, so he's like, I don't know about this. So it's not really stubborn. It's just them having to think through a little problem. So we're taking just a little walk around the neighborhood. So whether you're in the saddle, haven't found a saddle to fit this guy. Say hi, Jack. He's the hardest to train of all of them. So we have the Mammoth donkeys. This is Rebel. He's the youngest and the smallest. And Jack is a mini donkey. Back to the Jack and Rebel show. Sometimes just a simple walk is the best training. Teaching them a few manners, like not stepping on your heels, not grabbing every bite of grass on the side of the road, not getting in front of you. And I'm pretty lucky today. I got this girl with me. Back on our walk. So, if you look at him, let's see if I can get him close. This is called a stud chain, and I don't have to put it on very often, but you can put it to here, and it's just a little power steering if they're not behaving. Generally just needs to be on there for a minute, whether it be on a walk like this to give them something to think about, teach them a few manners, or on a pack trip if they're kind of resisting a little, pulling back. A few minutes of that, and they decide that they should probably go the same pace as you. Even though old Jack doesn't look like it, we take him packing. He doesn't carry much, but he's great camp entertainment. So the difference between Mammoth donkeys, standard donkeys, mini donkeys, or mules that are half donkey is pretty massive. Let's see, how would we describe the mini? He is curious to a fault. He will play with the gate until he figures out how to open it. He will play with the chicken coop latch until he figures out how to open it. And even a locking carabiner will not keep him out. And yeah, there's part of the training, making sure that they don't step over the lead. So Jack, he's got short legs, so he really can't. You could take him on a pack trip.
No.
But you have to lead him single. Because if he's in the pack string, I don't know if you remember getting clotheslined when you were a kid, but that's what happens to him. Because he can't quite keep up. So a lot of times on a pack trip, I just don't even tie him in, just let him go, because he's not going to leave you. So with the mini donkey, not that you should, but you kind of have the option of muscling them a little. Now, Patriot here, and he's our smallest mammoth. There's no muscling, so you have to make them want to do it. And the one thing about these guys is they all want to go to work. If they see you coming up with a halter in your hand, they will run to you and put their head in the halter. Kind of let them walk next to me or behind me, but never in front of me. And if it's a single track narrow trail, then they fall in behind and it's perfect. Lots of wild geese hanging out this time of year. Pretty hard to see them with this GoPro probably, but they're just chilling. I think next week I've got the farrier coming. I'm capable of doing it myself, but boy does she make it easier. Hopefully I could talk her into explaining a little bit about the difference between trimming a donkey versus a mule versus a horse. Their hooves are different. So if you look at the way a donkey walks, their left front and right rear and the opposite all land in line. So it's a much narrower trail. Hello, buddy. It's where a horse, their feet are spread out a little further. They say that a donkey's eyes, they're a little bit more offset to the side than a horse, so they can see all 4 feet. So yeah, sometimes you might not have time for a big ride, but there's always time to go for a little walk. And oftentimes that is the best training you can get. Old Rebel, he's a rock star. When we got him, he was 6 months old. So I've made a lot of mistakes. But he's coming around. We're starting to ride him. He's still not super good yet. It takes time. He's got a great pace. So, I got a few questions about how to make them move out. And the easiest way is when you already have an animal that moves out and they're along for the ride and they just learn how to go that pace. If you don't have that, well, then it's a little more difficult. You just gotta kind of keep after them. All equines, they don't learn from the pressure, they learn from the release. So if they take a few steps at the proper pace, you might have them spurred up a little bit, and then as soon as they do it, you release. And then you keep increasing that time slowly. And oftentimes on a lesson, it might seem like you're not getting anywhere. Well, they just need a little time to think about it. So a lot of times I'll do a training lesson and think it's not going well. And then you go out in a couple days. All right, Jack's he thinks he's pulling a cart here. In a couple days, they kind of figure it out. Gives them a little time to think about it, and it's just small little baby steps. So sometimes if they're following a little too close, just kind of whip the rope around a little, and they go, oh, gets them out of their little daze, and they start paying attention. Because that's a lot of it is when they get bored. sometimes you just gotta stop for a minute. Or my favorite, do a couple 360s. Makes them think. Sometimes it's better just to let them be and have an enjoyable little walk or an enjoyable ride, nothing long. So they really never know. Because when I take off, it might be a 3 or 4 mile ride, or it might be a 34-mile ride. And oftentimes they know when I know. Just depends on the day, how they're doing, how I'm doing. So one of the main trainings I do is teaching them how to back up. Very important to teach them that before you're in the saddle. It's a whole lot funner to just get in the saddle and ride, but if you don't teach them the groundwork, you're gonna pay for it for years. So backing up, you certainly can't muscle an animal, so, and as you can tell, this guy has forgot what he learned last year. So I just kind of snap. Oh yeah, so see, he took a step and back off a little. Good boy. And then, oh yeah, took a step, I back off a little. And I do it a little at a time, if you could see it in the camera, but he's bracing for impact. Oh, there you go. Good boy. Good boy. So another thing that I always teach them is you always have to be able to pick up their feet. And the rest of them are really good at it. This guy hasn't quite figured out. So yeah, there you go. Because if you're out in the back country and there's a foot problem, or if you want a farrier that'll actually not quit you, they need to be able to pick up their feet. So I'll go around, I'll pick up all their feet, get them to back up. Another important thing in the saddle is a side pass. So this one might be a little harder, and I just kind of poke them. Get them to, I don't push them. And then sometimes if that isn't working, I know this seems like I'm whipping them. I am not. I'm just trying to make him, there you go. See how he moved to the side. So as soon as he does that, then it's good boy. And another very important one, I don't always use a step, but I always have them trained to use a step because it teaches them to stand still when you're trying to mount them, because nothing can get you more in trouble than having them take off when you're halfway in the saddle. Ask me how I know. Over here, got this step. So I'll just tell them target, target, target. Okay, so see, that's not it. So it goes back around again. Target, target. Oh. So we're just gonna keep doing this. How long? As long as it takes. Target, target. Now stand. So he's not there because he's completely off. If he's close, I'll get over here and I'll give him a little rope action. A lot of it with equines, it's about timing. You need to make the correction when they're thinking about doing it, not after they've already started. So I could see in his eyes, he knows what he's supposed to do. So I'm just gonna go really slow. Come on, target, target. Good boy. Much closer. He's still turning, but he's also standing still. He's relaxed. It's the best way to become one with your animal. Come on. Target. 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 There we go. Target. Oh. Oh, look at that. He's a little off, but much better. And sometimes it's about knowing when to quit. If you're getting frustrated, they are too. Sometimes better to walk away. Nice and slow. Target. Target. See, I can tell by target. Oh. Good boy. See, that's perfect. And now he goes out a little. But that's okay. He's getting better. Sometimes you take your small win, and that's that. We took our little walk. We did a little bit of groundwork. I tortured him by picking up all his feet. I did a little more target training, which teaches them a lot more than just how to get saddled. It's how to be calm. The other thing that I didn't do is what I call the patience pole. And I just tie them up and get them used to standing and waiting for the next thing. And sometimes that's 5 minutes and they're done. Sometimes it's hours, but like when I'm in the back country, I need them to be able to be tied up for long periods of time sometimes without digging a hole to China. So we are gonna go put them back and go about the rest of our day. So hey, thanks for joining us. Keep your loads tight and your coffee hot, and we will see you next time.